for Chapter 4. Question 1 asks about certain and impossible. If something is certain, the probability equals 1. If it's impossible, the probability equals 0. Okay, and probabilities are always in between -1 and 1. So on question number 2, okay, it can't be negative, and it can't be more than 1. Okay, question number 3, it asks about odds. And it asks to show, do a couple little parts. The probability of A, okay, it's saying you can use 1 minus the probability of A, okay, but it already gave us the probability that A is 0.60. Okay, it's just, the first part's just asking you to verify. You can do N times 1 minus the probability of A. N is the number in the sample. Okay, so that just means plug in 1 minus the probability of A and multiply by N. N minus N, probability of A. Okay, put the probability of A that was given, and N means the number in the sample. So just plug those numbers into the formula. Okay, so number 5 gives a chart, and it says 2 and under, 3 to 5, 6 to 9, 10 to 12, and 13 and over. And then there's some percents here. Okay, if it says 6 years or older, that means you're going to add 6 or older means add the 6 to 9 category, the 10 to 12-year-olds, and the 13 and over. Okay, 6 or older means add up all the percents for that. Okay, if it says 12 or younger, that means you would add everything, add up all the percentages for everything that is under 12 years old. Okay, so that means you would add the percent for all of these ages here that are under 12 or younger. Okay, between 6 and 12, okay, that means you would add the 6 to 9 percentages plus the 10 to 12 percentages. Okay. Between 3 and 9, that means you would add the 3 to 5 percentages with the 6 to 9 percentages. Okay, first before we do 7, 8, and 9, we need to talk about 6 through 9. We need to talk about what this means, okay? It's called factorial, okay? And if you had 5 factorial, that means 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So you would multiply those numbers, you get 120. You just take that number, go all the way down and multiply. 4 factorial is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which would equal 24. Okay, number 6. If it says P of 5 comma 2, that means this is N and this is R. The permutation formula is you do N factorial over N minus R factorial. So that would be 5 factorial. The first number is always N. The second number is R. Okay, when it gives you these two numbers. So you would do 5 minus 2 factorial. Do what's in the parentheses first. Okay, so you would do 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Do 3 times 2 times 1 and then divide. Okay, I'm going to finish that up here. 5 factorial equals 120. 3 factorial equals 6. So divide and that's your answer. Number 7, C stands for combination, and C of NR is this formula. Okay, so if we have, I'm going to go to the next page. So if we have C of 7, 5, that means 7 is N and 5 is R. So you do 7 minus 5 here, and you do R, sorry, that's 5. You do R factorial right here. Okay, I'm using this formula right here. Okay, 7 factorial is this. 7 minus 5 is 2. On bottom, you've got to do what's in the parentheses. Okay, so we're going to multiply out 7 factorial on the top. That equals 5040. Okay, 2 factorial is just 2 times 1. And 5 factorial is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So we have 5040 divided by 240. And that equals 21. Okay, number 8. A team has a certain number of entrants, and the coach wants to pick the first, second, and third place. Okay, so when you're making arrangements and placement matters, you use a permutation. Okay, so let's say there were 15 entrants and choose 3 places. You would do a permutation of 15 choose 3. and you would use the formulas that we did earlier. The permutation formula of NR, n factorial, n minus r factorial, r factorial. Oops, sorry, that's just n minus r for the permutation. And then calculate it out like we did in the other one. Okay, on number 9, it just wants to form groups of a certain number. Okay, if order doesn't matter, then we use what's called a combination, which we calculated it earlier. Okay, let's say there's 12 applicants and there's 4 positions. They're going to do a combination of 12, choose 4. And you use the combination formula that we used earlier. And that's the end.